Newton Hall. Going to be an interesting 4 days play here. Match 1 on the streamed rink. It's going to be a good game. Paul Hartley versus Rhys Vaughan. I'm delighted to be joined in commentary by Jason Parkinson. Some interesting games in the tour cards this weekend, Jason.
Yeah, that's right, Janice. We're in for some treat games, really. Nothing's ever granted here.
Now, of course, there'll be 2 winners once we get to Sunday. There's 2 tour cards on offer here, and the winner of those gets one of the biggest prizes really in bowls at the moment, because it gets automatic entry into all of the World Bowls Tour ranking events for next season, and those are currently the Scottish International Open, the International Open and the World Championships. So a huge prize on offer for everybody playing this weekend, and we're both going out there to play at some point in time. I'm on tomorrow morning. You're on actually next game up, Jason.
Yeah, that's right, Janice. I think it's 11:30 the official start time. Looking forward to it. Play a colleague of mine, really, moving to the York Indoor Bowls Club from next indoor season, and the gentleman I'm playing, I'm going to actually be playing with.
Right, so you can suss each other's games out a little bit
right,
there,
yeah.
out there.
Especially if he beats me.
Well, 2 gentlemen out here, no stranger to the high levels of bowling. Rhys Vaughan, been a member of the PBA for many years. He's won the Welsh Senior Singles back in 2014. Actually, he's based in Manchester, but his closest indoor bowls club is actually the Frith Club in Wales, and he travels through to there. The gentleman on the mat, Paul Hartley, one of the best known players really in the northeast of England, only just started playing PBA bowls in the last 2 seasons, and he's somebody that we expect to go far in some of these events, as proving with this bowl here.
1 red.
Yeah, that's right, Janice. Paul's come on leaps and bounds in the last kind of 5 or 6 years. Obviously he's
Slightly short.
a member of the international team. He's very, very, very steady. When he's on his game, he's very hard to beat.
I was actually there in 2014 when he won the Champion of Champions, and I think it was really that gave him the set forward, so to speak, to get into the bigger events, and very consistent player. Got to the finals in Melton Mowbray of the triples and pairs with his playing partner Carl Higgins, who is the director of competitions for the EIBA, and he's very proud. He was just telling me before he started to play this game that he got to the semi-finals of the generation pairs. Sorry, it's now family pairs, isn't it?
That's right.
With his dad. He just got beaten by a smidge in the semi-finals there.
2 red.
Well, Rhys has got a choice here. I think he needs to be reaching really down the forehand here. He might play it off the backhand, Jason, his own bowl onto shot bowl.
Yeah, knowing Rhys, he does play a very attacking game. He's never afraid to reach. Personally, I'd be playing down the forehand. A couple of options here. Be looking for his own bowl, solid onto the bowl, or the jack. Nice little split. Can be a bit fortunate if he's slightly tight. He can just get to the shot bowl and flick it back onto the jack.
Yep.
Be a good few yards over, I'd say.
Attacking bowl here from Rhys.
It'll go now.
Will he get a bit of fortune off the short red bowl? Probably done enough to get him second bowl.
Yep, one to Paul.
Well, there is room to draw down the forehand here. Ball, it will swing all the way back. For those of you viewers that are used to watching us here at Blackpool, this is the rink that you see at the International Open. It's the regular TV rink, so all 4 hands are very playable.
Yeah, same format as well, isn't it? You got your 9 end sets, and then obviously if there's a tie, it goes into your 3 end tie break. The only slight difference we've got for this is at the moment we've got obviously red bowls with the red stickers, and the green bowls are in yellow stickers. Just slight different for those regular viewers.
Well, the players are being allowed to play with their own bowls at this event. So I think we've got a variety of colours.
One
I'm
shot,
actually
Paul
looking
Hartley.
at one set of bowls with a lot of colours on that are right next to my feet here, Jason. I wonder whose they are.
Probably mine scattered. Ready to pounce on the next game. So the other good thing, I think, Janice, as well for local players, obviously it's early morning still at the moment, but it's free entry. So if anyone sat around the Blackpool area and nothing much to do, fancy a pop down, come on in. Great facilities here at Blackpool Newton Hall. Lovely cafe, bar area, free of charge. What more do you want?
Yes, and like I say, some good players here come for the 2 tour cards. Of course, the Blackpool lad himself, Mark Dawes, won one of these tour cards 2 seasons back, and then in the 2 seasons he played in the 3 ranking events. He managed to get himself enough points to get into the top 16, and he's now ranked at 12 in the world. So this is a huge prize for anybody, and those that are already in the ranking system, the likes of Connor Sinato and Billy Jackson, gives them a huge push. Yourself, Jason,
Yeah.
Chris Gale, there's various that have got World Bowls Tour ranking points that winning this could really help out.
Yeah, it's all about your points. Obviously, you need to keep accumulating points because obviously every 3 years you start losing points from 3 years ago. So obviously you need to still, every year you need to really start scoring a few more, I would say. My kind of my problem is the 3 or 4 years ago, obviously I gave up bowls for a few years, so I kind of lost all my points. So I started again from zero. So.
Yeah, started from 0, went to the qualifiers at Carlisle, picked up a set of bowls, said I'll have a go in this, and won it. I seem to remember, Jason.
Well, always been lucky. Good ball from Rhys there. Nice big swinging hands here at Blackpool Newton Hall on this rink. So normal rink 2.
Yes, I think you were mentioning earlier, Jason, it's just seems to have dropped a little bit of pace once they've put the boarding on and the seating down.
1 yellow.
Yeah, definitely. I've noticed that. I've obviously not played for a while here. I've only played a few games this indoor season, but I came for practice on Sunday and it was running very quick, I thought. Had a quick 4 ends earlier on this morning around about 8:30, and I did notice it just a little bit sluggish, but I think as the temperature rises and a few more people start coming, it should pick up the pace again. It's certainly not heavy by no means.
No, they have been in to stretch some of the rinks because, of course, we've not just got this game going on here at the moment. There's also 2 other games going on other rinks here at the venue in this Tour Card 1. So it makes it an interesting tournament, Jason, with other games going on right, left and centre, basically.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, you can't see from the TV screens, but there's other rinks in play. We will try and keep you up to speed with what's going on for those of you that have got people in the event.
1 yellow.
Every now and again, I'll just keep popping out for you, Janice. Have a little look.
That'll be easy to do when we're both in here together, Jason. I don't know how we're going to cope with that when we're in on our own.
Just drill a hole in the box here so we can see. So a good chance here for Rhys to make 2. Looks short again, I think.
Yeah, there's nothing really for short there because he had the red ball on a length he could afford to reach.
1 shot, Rhys Vaughan.
Ties it up. 1-1 after 2 ends, as Jason mentioned. In this event, we're playing 2 9-end sets. So it does give you a bit more chance to get back into the game. A lot of the PBA qualifiers themselves are 7-end sets. Umpire and marker out there today. On the rink for this game is Alan Thornhill. You eagle-eyed viewers, you'll also notice he's marking the card and umpiring the rink as well. Once we get to the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. You'll see all of the umpires working on the rink. Shot clock will come into play and the players will start playing in red and green shirts. But the first 2 days, qualifying games so to speak, they were allowed to play in club shirts, county shirts or international shirts, and they were allowed to play with their own bowls. Full of loose bowls there again. Just opening bowls. It's often interesting, the starts of any of the games, even when you see the top 16 here, the opening ends of any game. Players just trying to find the weight.
Yeah, I don't think Rhys plays all that much indoors, to be honest, obviously, because obviously the travel is quite a big travel for Rhys. He doesn't play as much as he does on the outdoor circuit, obviously plays for Lancashire outdoors, so we've had many a tough battle in county competitions against each other. You're kind of stuck in this area, Janice, aren't you, really, for the flat green scene? There's a lot of travelling to be done.
Great ball here from Paul Hartley. Yes, I think some of these south coast regions, they're very fortunate. Bowls clubs are just on the doorstep. Closest indoor club for us here at the moment at Blackpool Newton Hall
Very close
is
to the second race.
Penrith, which is a good 60 odd miles away, and then Carlisle, which is the main competitor here, is over 100 miles. So we can play the first round of a national and have over 100 miles to go for a first round game.
Short again, Rhys. Wonder if he's had some breakfast.
Well, he had plenty of practice on the rink yesterday, Jason. He spent a good
Did he
couple of
really?
hours out there.
The difference in speed, like I say, might just be catching them out early on. It'll just take a few ends for them just to adjust.
Take his time, can Paul. There's no shot clock here. As you mentioned before, Jason, Paul was one of the travelling reserves for the international squad that went to Belfast this year. Consider this man was one of the travelling reserves. He's certainly one of the best in the country.
Yeah, he's a nice guy off the rink as well. So something to do for Rhys now. Needs to start reaching, really. Set play, you need to start getting balls past the jack. Give yourself a bit of a chance. Easier said than done, I know. Never play a bad ball sat here.
No, this is the best place to play bowls, Jason, I reckon. Certainly looking at it.
I think he's attacking this.
Yep, looks like he's going aggressive. Might as well do that rather than be short.
Go quick, this.
Really under the line. Can he get a bit of a fortunate result again? Well, again, enough to save that third shot, but 2 against. Quite a bit of room here as well.
2 red.
Just play under the line on the backhand. Nice spare shot.
Few players in watching there. The star of the World Championships, I think I just saw there.
Charlie.
Benz, yeah.
Yep.
Charlie's here.
He loved it, didn't he?
Oh yes, he's done a lot of things like opening shops and appearances up in Scotland. He's enjoying every minute of it, Jason.
Local celebrity.
Yeah, definitely.
All on his weight. I think he's just pulling up. Yeah.
He'll be mad with himself for that one. Big chance of a 3 there.
2 shots. Paul Hartley.
Well, 3-1 after 3 ends to Paul Hartley. Just playing with the mat up a touch. Hartlepool, his home club, isn't just quite as quick as it used to be. It used to be a lovely pace at Hartlepool, but changed carpet and Probably a similar pace to this, actually, Jason.
Personally, I think it's a bit heavier, Janice. I was fortunate to be invited to go and play at the Hartley Pool Masters over Easter, which is always a fantastic event to play in. And I've not played there for quite a few years. I've not played for a bit. And yeah, I was very surprised, very, very surprised. Quite sticky, really. But it was a great few days away.
Oh, a fantastic event there. I've played in the ladies' version of that. Fortunate enough to win it. My last time out there, I won it with one Alison Merrion.
Oh, really?
It was yes, but it was a bit of a push, like you say. It was a bit. It put me into the lead position, Jason. I'm so used to skipping everything, but when you've got Alison to back you up,
Carrier.
something like that.
Pick your partners.
I do try. For those of you that want to know when Charlie Bent is playing, he's actually the game this afternoon at 3:45, which I think Jason and I will be again together commentating on, which is going to be an interesting game. That is playing Pat Briscoe.
Oh, that will be an interesting game. Pat's a great player.
Yeah, Pat's had some good results on this rink as well in the past. Obviously, he's qualified himself in WBT events, but Charlie said to me last night, he says, I'll take on anybody. Nobody holds fear for me anymore.
I don't blame him.
Took Nick Brett to one bowl.
He did. He gave everybody a spectacle of bowls.
I was the game following that, and it was a hard act to follow. Rhys is definitely finding his pace better in this direction, Jason, which is playing away from our commentary position.
Close now, Paul.
Yeah, he's playing the slightly tighter hand of the two as well. The forehand's a massive swing. You can chuck them right out and they come back.
Last bowl, 18 inches.
Yeah, just looking to get round the bowls on the forehand, like you said, Jason. A big swinging hand, this. Tends to be the favoured hand in this direction for most players.
Yeah, it's quite forgiving unless you're tight. You can keep throwing them out and out and out, and they'll always come back. But
all on his pace here. Just failed.
Rhys has just got to arrive on this backhand. There's a port there, or push one of his own balls in.
Players only allowed to go up to the head after the third bowl unless they request for the marker otherwise. While we're playing the standard qualifying rules.
I think I'll have to take a notepad out with me just to remember which ones I'm playing to at the time.
Yes.
In case I make a mistake. Is he running? Just pulling up again.
Will it push his own bowl? Tip it down? No, it stayed upright. Rhys has got a similar shot here, just to reach to his own green bowls. Well, Paul's probably not used to playing under TV conditions, Jason.
It's been pulled out the way.
My normal rule of thumb on that is if you go and stand back next to the marker, you're normally out of everybody's way.
Yeah. They're well versed on the rules and where to stand.
Oh, Rhys, just a bit of a shunt onto those balls. It looks down a very tight line here.
Yeah, he's not got enough pace. It does hold slightly there when you play with pace, but he's not reached. No, he needs to be reaching.
Well, it could be a measure here. Yeah, Alan Thornhill. Steady hands Thornhill, his first measure of the event.
Do you want that one, Paul?
Just asking which bowls want to be in the measure there. One green against two red by the looks of it.
They normally go to the one they always move that. See, they normally go to the one they favour, but I'm not sure if he's conceded any shots yet.
There's various different rules of thumb on that when you speak to the umpires. Some of them prefer to go, if there's a ball sat down, will prefer to go to the sat down ball first. Like you say, some go to the ball that they favour.
That looked red easy, didn't it?
Looked fairly well in there. Yeah, it's got to be red here, surely. Yeah. Still been a bit of a
One shot, Paul Hartley.
scrappy game, so to speak, to begin with.
Yeah, I think, that, like I say, the pace has just caught them at the moment. Paul's definitely getting a bit more consistency than Rhys. Rhys just needs to start reaching, give himself a chance. He's got the Welsh flag next to his name there, Janice.
Yes. His accent gives the
Yeah,
game away a little bit.
certainly does.
Well, slightly under the line. Can't just quite see for Mr. Thornhill at the moment, but I think that's down to the camera angle. There we go.
Cheers.
Thank you. We always call the first game of any tournament on live streaming a gremlin game. If we're going to get gremlins, it's normally in this game, folks. That's why I have plenty of coffee ready.
This is better for Rhys now. Give himself a chance here. Play himself into the game. He'll be glad of the extra 2 ends per set. It just allows you, if you get to a slow start. Some people are naturally slow starters. I know it normally takes me a couple of ends. That extra couple of ends is sometimes a bonus.
Yeah, I do think the 9 end sets games give you a little bit more of a comfort zone. Great bowl there from Paul Hartley. Paul's a driving instructor by trade.
Never knew that. Need a bit of patience for that.
You do. You must do. And Rhys is a retired criminal lawyer. It's always interesting to find out what players do. Obviously, it's a profession that it's hard to be professional within the sport itself to make a living at bowls. Most players have full-time jobs, which means that they can be sometimes restricted to how much they can play bowls. Just needs to reach again. Rhys is under the line here, Jason, I think.
He is, yeah.
Gotta
He's
go
stood
somewhere.
across on the mat as well, so he's going to get more bend out of it. Didn't bend much. They don't look very, very strong, the balls. I'm not sure what he's playing with. They look like a Taylor Blaze or something, maybe.
Yeah, just seeing, yeah, you're right, Taylor Blaze, size 4 heavy is what he's got down on his player profile. I know Paul Hartley's always been a tiger man, so I don't even think I have to look at his...
Very distinctive.
Yeah, tigers definitely, size 3s. A lot of players play with smaller bowls now, Jason. You tend to find a lot of even the top players. I was playing in an event with Mervyn King last weekend and he's gone down to a size 3 now.
Yeah, I played with size 4 since I was about 14 years of age, and it was only kind of maybe 5 years ago, just before I gave up for a little bit, that I actually decided to go down, because I've got quite a small hand. I found, like, outdoors, with the cold weather, it was just harder to grip it. So another 2 here for Paul. Good commanding lead to begin with. 6-1 after 5 ends. I think a lot of people kind of always try to go for a bigger bowl. So when people are playing a, quite an aggressive game, your bowls aren't getting banged around as much. But I do believe you can certainly get a better feel if you play with a slightly smaller bowl. Early on in the season, kind of like this time, where it's a bit cold and a bit rainy, it can be hard to grip.
Yeah, especially like you say outdoors. Again, at this event I played in last week, I played mixed pairs game with Mark Dawes, who does still play with size 5s.
Yes.
And we played against somebody that was playing with double zeros. And when Mark's bowl came up towards the head, the little double zero flew
in the ditch.
But it is, as you mentioned, it's personal preference. It's what you feel comfortable playing with.
Yeah, there's lots of different set aids out there to help you. We've got several brands of Grippo. People sometimes playing like these little golfing gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't want to play one of those. I think you'd probably lose the feel, to be honest. I don't know, but I like to feel the ball in the hand.
I think a lot of people do that if they play outdoors with one. They just feel natural that they want to play with a glove indoors as well. I know I certainly have always used to play crown green with a cloth in my hand, and now I would feel funny playing indoors without a cloth in my hand, and yet I don't really use
Don't
the
ever use
cloth.
it, yeah. Comfort blanket.
Yeah, it's a comfort blanket. You're right.
Yeah. Comfort blanket.
Well, 6 ends in here. I know we always notoriously say 7th end is a big end, but he's 5 shots ahead, and what a great opening bowl here. Paul's certainly settled down now to his game.
Yeah, he has. He's definitely settled. Rhys just needs to try something a bit different.
The winner of this game will play the winner of the game that's currently going on rink 7 between George Ridgeon and Steve Mead, and that will be your TV game, streaming game tomorrow at 11:30. Most players have got at least one game to play today. Some of the players start tomorrow. And as mentioned before, your next TV game up here is from the European Tour Card 2, and that's Craig Newton versus Jason Parkinson. And then this afternoon at 2:15 we have another cracking game on the cards, Danny Dennison versus Connor Sinato.
Yeah, that would be a great one.
And then I think the game to finish us off today is another good game, Scott Edwards versus Simon Skelton. Stay with us if you can.
Long way for Scott to travel. The Brighton area, isn't he, Scott?
Yeah, he was here last night. He had a practice last night. He was very, very unfortunate in the qualifiers down at Poole that have already gone for the Scottish International Open and the International Open. He just lost out to Damien Dubler in the Scottish and just lost out to Connor Sinato in the International Open. So, as we mentioned, Connor already qualified in one of these events, but if he won this here this weekend, the runner-up from Poole would go through in his Poole International Open place. Of course, the Belfast qualifiers and the Poole qualifiers have already gone. We've still got Lincoln and Carlisle to come in September. A lot of bowls on really in January, February and March for players when you're successful.
Well, Paul's putting Rhys under all kinds of pressure here now.
Now, if this comes in for another shot, holding 3.
I think he's got a chance playing for this Jack Janis personally. 6-1 down. Looking for a 2 ideally. It's a chance on the backhand. It's not too bad with a bit of pace.
Well, he doesn't want to draw and just be short again.
No, he's got to start creating something. What he's doing at the moment obviously it's not working, so it's time to change. I think he's just got to, there's plenty of options there. Can be a bit fortunate. Anything onto the jack gives himself a chance.
Yeah, he's certainly geared up to play it down the backhand. Needs to reach here.
Well, will he get back? No. think it was the right shot, personally.
Yeah, like you say, he's got to start changing something.
3 shots, Paul Hartley.
We had a tribute night here last night to John Taylor, who sadly died last year. Was a man really at the forefront of bringing the co-op Funeralcare to the World Bowls Tour. Watched loved man by a lot of us at the events. And they had a little bit of a mini tournament, and I know it was Alan Thornhill's team that won.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, we've got a champion out there on the rink.
They look quite bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, actually, this morning.
Yeah, they did. The 4 umpires led teams. It was Alan Thornhill's team that won.
Who were they playing, Janice?
Well, they all led teams from co-op and John Taylor relatives.
Oh, okay.
Gave them a bit of coaching first, and then it was wonderful to see John's wife Arwen here. She's listening in. A shout out. It was a lovely evening, Arwen. So glad to have you here at Blackpool. Of course, the co-op huge supporters of bowls, grassroots level, right up to these top TV events. Oh, Paul Hartley's really got on a roll now. I think this first set's really gone. I think Rhys really needs to start getting his arm back, start reaching to try and set himself up for the second set, Jason. Sometimes you have to do that. And that's the joy of sets play, isn't it? You can lose the first set by a big score and yet still come back and win the second set and take yourself into a tie break.
That's right, yeah. On average, if you look at how many people actually win the second set, do go ahead and win the actual game. It's very easy to shut off once you've kind of got the comfort of the first set under your belt. You've still got to remain focused and just play. I think what Rhys needs to do is just start to change something, just try and play himself into the end of this set. You know, he's got a massive task ahead of him, but if he can just start scoring to give himself another few ends.
Yeah, reaches that red bowl there, Jason, and he could count a 2.
Yeah, he has just got to use these last few ends if he can, just to play himself into this.
Well, just overplayed it, but it was the right idea.
1 red.
I'll set himself up now.
Very focused face.
Surprised he's just not gone to cover the back, but depends where it finishes. I think I'd be playing a forehand shot, Janice, myself, if I was Rhys, trying to just punch his own bowl onto the bowl and jack and just
squeeze the
risk a bit of
jack
luck.
through.
Yeah.
He might get a 2 or a 3 out of it.
Yeah, it could go wrong, but I think it's the only thing he's got. A couple of yards on, shunt the bowl onto the jack, looking for a 3. It's like he can hear us. Was he drawing? No.
He's played the weight, but not with weight, by the looks of it. 1, 2.
Oh. Nope.
Nearly got a result. Really didn't play that with enough weight to hold the bowl. I think Paul still likes his red bowl.
That'll be the end of the set of it, if it is.
1 shot, first set, Paul Hartley.
So Paul takes the first set 10-1. Like we mentioned, it's 2 sets of 9 ends, so although Paul's got that set in the bag, in the back pocket so to speak, Rhys has the chance of winning the second set, which would take us to a 3-end tie break. Lovely sunny outside at Blackpool.
Yeah, it was a lovely drive from Manchester this morning. Very pleasant.
It's always nice when the sun shines. We have had snow here when we've been at the International Open, Jason, so I remember some of the overseas players It's from Hong Kong and Australia shooting out to go and have a look at this snow. They'd never seen snow before. Paul Hartley's set his stall out here now. His dad will be out there in the crowd somewhere. I can't actually see him in the auditorium, but he's normally about watching his son.
Yeah, I have seen him out there this morning.
Very steady, deliberate delivery, Paul Hartley. Certainly one for any new people learning the game of bowls to watch.
Simple and consistent.
Rhys needs to adjust on the pace of his first. Slightly better bowl, but Paul Hartley certainly looks focused out there. Like I say, when he joined the PBA, I know his first session was at Carlisle and he got to one, it might have even been 2 finals up there if memory serves me right, and
yeah.
just lost out.
To me, I think it was.
That's why I was grinning across the commentary box, Jason. I thought you might remember that.
I was, yeah. I wonder what you were getting at. Yeah. I think it went to the very last bowl, if I remember.
Yes, it did. And bearing in mind we just said that Jason hadn't been playing, I think consistency of Paul Hartley, I think a few has thought you might have been in trouble in that game, Jason.
I thought I was in trouble. Just struggling with these slightly weaker bowls, Janice, on this backhand. You know, the forehand is a better hand, but obviously it's blocked out. With Paul's Tigers, is just allowing him to get back more centre. That's why I always prefer to play with a slightly stronger bowl.
Yeah, I think most players tend to select a stronger bowl on this rink too. There's a few that don't.
3 red.
3 red. I think it's probably got. There's one definitely on the spot, Janice. I think you might see. Depends how brave he is. Forehand shot. Depends whether the plant catches a jack. I can't quite see from the camera angle. See that or a dead draw, but he's not finding the draw shot at the moment.
At the moment, no. It's like you say, it might be worth him reaching into this.
Yeah, the way he is struggling. Just change something a little bit. No, he's sticking with his backhand.
Must be looking at the draw then, Jason. Perhaps feels if he could just settle down to a draw first end of the set. Well, his line's not bad. Will it bend with the weight? You see, he could be 3 down there.
Yeah, I think he is 3 again. Personally, I think he needs to swap his hand. Try something different.
Yeah,
3
if
shots, Paul
something's
Hartley.
It's not
not
working.
working.
Eight ends is eight ends on one hand. I think it's time just to try something a bit different.
I seem to remember somebody used to coach me on that.
Yeah.
When we used to come through for those battling sessions, Jason, when I was trying to improve my game.
Yeah, we had some good sessions there.
Again, Paul Hartley focused. Playing the swingy hand. Well, Rhys, have we found a line here? That's a better bowl. Jason's just done a runner's job to try and find out the scores for us. The other 2 games that are going on here in this tour card one. Paul's changed his hand. Watch this ball. Tigers, they'll swing all the way back here. What a fantastic ball, Paul Hartley. All those people that are supporting Paul that are listening in up in Hartlepool.
One down,
One red, yeah.
He's a quality player there, Paul Hartley. Really, really not letting Rhys Vaughan get away with anything. Rhys played a fairly decent ball and Paul just answered it. Rhys looks under the line here. And short again.
One red.
Nothing for short. If he'd have been behind, he gave himself a chance with his next ball.
This one.
Paul just asking
Yeah, it's jack high.
where
Yeah.
the green ball is in relation to the jack, because Rhys has just blocked his forehand, so swap back to the backhand. It's on a tidy line again. Just a fraction underweight there. Oh, Rhys, you've got to reach with this.
One
You've
red.
got to give yourself a chance.
Yeah, just over the draw. Is
It's
he
a
here?
track. All on his weight here.
Is he far enough?
Looks close.
Yep. Well played. Oh, I think he's been unlucky there.
Might be holding shot with the last ball.
Oh, yeah.
Do a smile from Rhys there.
From here it looks one red, doesn't it?
It does. The angles of the cameras here can be quite deceiving. Yeah, there we go. Rhys Vaughan needs to be trying to get himself into this game. 3-0 down, set 0 down. Set he's got to win to take us into a tie break.
One red.
Yeah, the umpire confirms one shot to red. Waiting for cover.
Yeah, at this point he might as well, really, if he's holding shot. Rhys hasn't really been on target with his runners, but there's a big chance here, Jason.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the angle. I think he's got to hit that pretty hard to kill the jack to go back onto the respot, which I think is why Paul's gone deep rather than to cover the spot.
I suppose his worst case scenario is getting the middle bowl of the three bowls, his own bowl, which would just push the jack through. If he just played it with a timing weight, probably one of those where he's better to go quicker, Jason.
Yeah, it lands in the split. I think if it lands it dead on in the split, I think he could just hold in for two. Not playing all that much pace.
No, this is the danger bowl. I think if he just gets thread bowl, he's waving his arm at it. I think it's tight.
Depends on the contact again.
One shot, Paul Hartley.
So, that's another shot. So again, a good lead for Paul, 4 without.
Yeah, taking that up a tad again. You went out running for us, Jason, to try and find the scores. I did mention to the viewers if it's gone
Oh, did you?
quiet. So
I liked it.
He's gone and done a runner's job. Go on.
So we've got any viewers obviously following the other games. I know he's got some supporters for other people. So just to keep you in the loop, we have Lee Rowland. He is playing Norman Code, and Lee Rowland is 8-5 up after 8 ends. So 1 to play. Lee Rowland's is 3 shots ahead. And on the end rink 7, we have got Steve Mead against George Ridgeon, and Steve Mead is 8-4 ahead after 7 ends.
They're slightly behind us in sets play, so
Yeah, it's probably worth mentioning, obviously, for those that don't know, one gentleman we've got is actually playing in a wheelchair, which is great to see, and plays at a good level as well. So obviously we have to allow for that. I think the only time we've seen the wheelchair on the portable rink is when Simon injured himself.
Yeah, there was a demonstration game a few years ago, wasn't there, between some of the top wheelchair players, and of course the PBA, anybody can play in it, any age, any ability, either sex. We have 2 ladies taking to the rink here this week, but only 2. We often find that in these events it's dominated by the men, but there's myself and Jackie Henderson trying to face against you guys and see what we can do. But yeah, anybody can play in it, and George Ridgeon's been a big supporter of the PBA for many years. He's out there battling on rink 7. See if he can get one of these tour cards. A little bit of a loose end here from Paul, but Rhys is really struggling. It's a lonely game as well when you're in singles and you're struggling, Jason.
It certainly is, but like I said, you know, sticking with this backhand is not finding the pace, is not finding the line. At some point, you've got to change, Janice. You've got to create something for yourself, and sticking to a hand you're not finding isn't really personally the way to do it.
Yeah, you generally only find somebody will persist with a hand if they're struggling, if they're injured.
3 red.
But certainly not heard anything from Rhys.
No.
Can he change hand now?
But this forehand in this direction is such a good hand.
He's going the forehand now. He's had plenty of practice. Do you think he's hearing us out? Good track. He's putting himself under all sorts of pressure
Yeah.
again here.
2 red.
But we've all done it, and like Jason said earlier, we don't play any bad bowls sat in this commentary box. Have a little hutch for the weekend, Jason.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the wine to start arriving, it'll be fine.
Well, assistant tournament director here for this weekend, Tom Weir, did say if we wanted any drinks we'd only to shout. So.
Marvellous.
Probably not a daft ball
2
there
red.
from Paul. Didn't want to be short, didn't want to set a target for Rhys. It leaves him the draw. He's been struggling with the draw, so
It's a big mental game, bowls. Even if you're playing well like Paul is, sometimes when you know your opponent is struggling, sometimes it's very, very hard just to keep that concentration.
Rhys has overplayed it here, you see. Could be 3.
Yep.
2.
2, the shorter
2 shots,
ball
Paul Hartley.
must have counted. Well, 10-1 was the first set to Paul Hartley. He's now 6-0 up after 3 ends. Tied set here is very good for Paul. It's no good to Rhys at all. Has to win it. You see, if you could just get the jack and perhaps change the length as well, Jason, but
Yeah.
Paul's so consistent on this length.
Yeah, he needs to start trying to shake something up, but obviously you've got to get the jack first, Janice.
The opener again from Paul. To that side of the rink, as most of the players will probably see will do. So the other side's okay. Very good full hands really, but this is the preferred side. Overplayed it again, Rhys. Oh, I know that feeling when you just can't get the pace.
Soul destroying.
Big prize out there. Just a bit of pressure on you. Added pressure. Try and focus and play your game, play your bowls. And that's what Paul Hartley's doing now. Really putting Rhys Vaughan under the cosh. Waiting, I think, Jason.
Yeah, he's just struggling. He really is struggling again. He's sticking to his backhand. He seems to prefer his backhand. Everything comes down on the backhand, but it's just not working at the moment. Paul just keeps hoeing them out and they come back.
another interesting thing from Rhys Vaughan is
3 red.
his items of relaxation, classical, folk, and he plays 5 different instruments.
Does he really?
Yeah, it's very interesting, is that?
Never knew that. Does it say what 5 are? No.
No,
Just
no,
5?
it just says plays 5 different instruments. If you were to get through this game, I would go out there and find out what 5 for our next game is. Well, Paul's just under green this, but it's one of those, like you said, Jason, if you're piling on so much pressure,
4 red.
sometimes it's hard to just keep the concentration with the last bolt.
It is, you know, it's 5 feet anywhere around the jack counts.
He's holding 4 at the moment. Well, Rhys, I think it might be curtains if you don't change this.
Sticking to his draw. Big breath.
Yeah. Look of determination on his face there.
It's a better line, Janice.
He's on a good road. Wow. Close?
I think he's played one as is. He's just going to hold off.
Oh, do you know?
Just fell away.
Very unfortunate,
Yeah.
really. 2, I think.
Yep, 2 red, 8-0.
2 shots, Paul Hartley.
Seeing a game of 21 up, this would nearly be done, Janice.
Yeah, it would be 18-1. That just sort of really reflects the way that Paul Hartley's played. He's certainly dominated the game. First game up out here.
Doesn't want to tire himself out.
No, just take it easy. Plenty of time to go and get some of that very, very nice cake that I saw this morning.
I thought you'd spot that.
Yes, I did. To have something to keep us going in the commentary box, Jason. There you go, the score on the door, 8-0. We're playing the 5th end, so there's still time, still 5 ends left to play, but that's probably the loosest opener from Paul for a good few ends. Just needs to keep concentration, and Rhys really needs to take this opportunity now, make the most of it. So we will try and keep you informed of all the scores that go on the other rinks. There's 3 or 4 games on in every session up till Saturday, and then Saturday and Sunday everything is out there on the streamed rink. We'll be live with you, full HD with commentary for all of the weekend. Between Jason and I, we're going to juggle it, and if you can't stay with us, you'll pick up all the scores and results on worldbowlstour.tv. To excuse us, folks, we've just got a bit of a technical issue. Our monitor seems to have conked out altogether. I'm just going to call for the tech crew to help us.
2 black.
Green. Green.
back with you now, folks. Sorry about that. We just had one of our usual technical gremlins. First game up on a event like this, we often get gremlins. Jason just shot off to put his stickers on. You're back with me now, Jason.
Yeah, I'm back with you. I just use those couple of minutes just to get my balls ready. So
Rhys is holding a good ball here by the looks of it. Good timing to come back on.
I missed it. Nearly another. Unlucky.
Rhys. One shot. Rhys Vaughan.
Yeah, on the card. Now, need to see something drastically different, I think, Jason.
Yeah, I'd probably keep the mat back and just plonk it just over the pin.
He's either got to do that or straight up.
So yeah, just minimum 23. Plonk it over the pin, sorry.
We do have quite a number of viewers that don't play bowls, Jason. We need to sometimes explain.
Yeah.
Well, at least we're having a smile in the commentary
Yeah.
box this morning. We've now got our monitor at a very peculiar angle in the, which, but we can live with that.
Yeah, we're reactive.
And if all else fails in the next game, Jason, when you're out there, I'm just going to come and sit ringside with my microphone in my hand.
Shove it on my shirt, Janice, I don't mind.
Well, Rhys. News from outside on the other two games. We haven't actually got the scores, but we believe Steve Mead has won the first set against George Ridgeon on rink 7, and on rink 4 Lee Rowland's apparently taken the first set against Norman Code. Like I say, we will try and keep you informed, get the results through as we go. If not, you will get all the full scores on worldbowlstour.tv. You might not for the next 3 hours, because I believe the CEO of the World Bowls Tour, Richard Madison, is actually going out on the rink himself.
Yeah, I noticed that in the draw, Janice.
Yeah, he's playing out on rink 7, I believe, next game up when you're on the streamed rink.
It just shows you a change in length, Janice, look, already.
Yeah, that's what he needed to do. Paul's just overplayed this. Paul won't need to panic yet, though, because 8-1, 4 ends to play, but he certainly doesn't want Rhys to suddenly counterfort. Again, sticking to his backhand.
He'll be just looking to score the 2 of the 4 ends, I think, Janice, for Paul.
Yeah.
We'll see him securely over the line.
Three green. Three, yeah, 3 green.
Looks down an interesting track here.
How big's the hole?
Can he get a piece of the green bolt? Oh, right through the gap.
Tip 'em early, Janice.
Yeah, well tipped.
So, chance for Rhys now, play himself back into this set. I think he'll be looking just to draw, probably just to the back red bowl. Slight adjustment in his last couple of feet on, a little bit wider.
He just had a quick glance at the score then, I think, as well. Don't worry about that, Rhys. Oh no, he's on Sunday. His fans have arrived.
Yeah. He is.
I tell you who he was waving at.
Was it
Craig Newton's
was
just
it
arrived
Craig,
in the
Matt?
doorway there. Your
Right.
opponent's arrived.
What a shame. Well, Rhys, will you get back? Will it get back?
In a bad place, that, Jason, at all.
Counting, that's the main thing at this stage.
4 green.
4 green. Now, Mr. Hartley, a little bit of pressure for you here.
I think he'll just play the same. Any adjustment either side, there's a ball to come off, ball to sit on. The gap's not really as big this time. If he gets the gap, he's probably going to connect with the back bowl. Just depends on his pace.
Yeah, similar sort of bowl. Wider track in the area for something here.
Has he got enough of the jack? No.
Oh, one away.
Good effort.
That certainly puts Rhys back in this second set.
Yeah, it gives him a chance now.
3 shots.
Same length again. Probably looks around about 25 metres, I think, from here.
Yeah, for those viewers at home that are wondering why we're not giving you the length of the jack, because we have a marker stroke umpire doing these games earlier on. You'll get that information once we get to the weekend, and we've got the 3 umpire situation on the stream drink. The other 2 umpires that are here this week are the 2 newsters to the team, Tony Hatch and Dan McManus. The ones that aren't with us this week at the moment, Francis Fletcher, Dan Blewett and Mike Davis. And shout out to those 3 if they're listening in. Got a really, really strong umpiring team here at the WBT.
Certainly have. You certainly believe what they tell you.
Well, I know from my experience, your eyesight seems to be better than mine for judging at times. Again, decent length of bowl there from Rhys. Better lead bowl there from Paul.
Yeah, he's playing a similar length this time, but in the opposite way. Obviously, he's brought the mat right up.
Different lines, Jason, on rinks like this.
Yeah, I'm surprised he'd done that, to be honest, but hey ho. Swap to his forehand. Something to rest on. Connection with the jack needed. Well
Great
played.
bowl. Well, really, not a lot more weight needed, just adjustment of line. This backhand, when you play in this direction, can be a little bit unforgiving if the jack's been displaced. But that's still not a bad place. Doesn't really want to drop anything more than a 1 pull, but if Rhys could pick up a couple of shots here, the pressure would all be on Paul Hartley then.
It's coming back now.
Will it finish inside the red bowl though?
No.
No. I think Paul will just sit with his draw shots. Some players might try and play that bowl away. So Billy Jackson, Nicky Brett, they tend to play a very, very aggressive game. Yourself, Jason, you'll tend to see the more aggressive shot.
Yeah, I think in sets play it's needed, really. Get out of trouble early. Don't leave it till the end. So another chance here for Rhys. Just drop a foot off his last. You just get a 2 here. He's in with a chance, Janice, of sneaking this.
Oh, Trevor Taylor there, I think.
Was it Trevor?
I think it was Trevor.
Yep.
Good, sat halfway down the rink. He plays this afternoon.
Have a quick look, see if I can.
Yeah, we're looking at 2 different draw sheets here.
Neil Smith.
Oh, yeah, another
that'll
good
be a
see,
very
another
good game.
They're all good
Yeah,
games,
very
good
good
games. On the score, that's. I don't think it's on the TV.
No,
rink, though,
unfortunately not. No.
It's on at. It's one of the last games on today, by the looks of it. So again, it'll be one of the ones we'll try and keep you informed of the score.
Yeah, it's a shame that'd be a cracking game to watch.
Yeah, I think it's on at the same time that we'll be commentating on the Simon Skelton Scott Edwards game. So,
So we've still got a good game.
it's one of those, Jason.
Yeah,
at
another good
times,
game.
Yeah.
Natural talent, Trevor.
Oh yes, yes, he's qualified in the International Open and Scottish International Open. Got European Qualifier of the Year award
One
at the
shot,
World
Rhys
Bowls
Vaughan.
Tour Awards. Well, Rhys is still
Plugging away.
3 ends on the trot now.
So he needs to score 4 in the next 2 ends to take it to a tie break. Anything less, it's no good.
Yeah, important end this next end really. He's got to really be picking up. If he only picks up a single here, it puts a lot of pressure on for 3 on the last end. Whereas pick up a 2 here,
Yep.
it's doable.
Again, just dropping it just over the minimum mark.
Well, he picked up a 3 going in this direction last time.
Again, looks just under 25 metres this time. And count the spots. There's a few players down from Cumbria in this event, isn't there, Janice?
I think
I've
Stuart
noticed.
Irwin's here as
Yep.
well, isn't he?
Another great player.
Well, Stuart had great success in the qualifier as well. Got through to the International Open finals, came here. A great game of bowls. Steady player, Stuart. Used to just sort of play front end lead a lot, but now he plays 3 and skips in Denny Cups and Liberties, so
Certainly does.
got an all-round game.
Good start from Rhys now.
I always say Stuart is one of those ones you don't want to mess with because he's won many boxing heavyweight titles in the past. So, do you know, I know loads of pieces of useless information, Jason.
I just know he's about 2 foot bigger than me, so that's all I need to know.
And wider. Great ball from Paul Hartley there. You see, that's just what he needed.
Just
Last
keep
3 ends
closing
have
it.
gone to Rhys and Paul needed that.
Needs to hurry now.
Yeah, he was trying to just play that shot to just tip the jack. Paul just needs to cover now. Scores a 1 here. Means that Rhys has got to pick up a 4 at the last end.
Anywhere between the 2 green bowls will be good. Wow. It's a good bowl, but I'm not sure if he was playing it there. I don't know. It's a cracker.
Yeah, it sets up a bit more of a target now, really. It's
Yeah.
possible for Rhys to just trail that jack now.
So his last ball went through that bowl, so
He's watching
I
it.
say he wants it to hold, but I think he wants it to bend.
I think he does. It looks high to me.
More
Paul-
pace.
Paul's got to cover these bowls at the left-hand side of your screen as you're looking.
Yeah. 4 feet past the wide one.
Yeah, he's gone for cover. Running for cover, as we would say. Splits between those 2 green bowls and it's done a good job. Kind of leaves Rhys with the... Well, it's possible, the perfect trail for 3 or even 2. Misses with this bowl and party is over.
Yeah, I think he needs to be playing the same pace as his second. Anything too quick just holds off there at this length. It's a very difficult pace to play, but he needs it. You know, even if he can just score, ideally looking for a 2 or more. If he can just score, he keeps the game alive.
Yeah, one would be okay. Looks on a better line. What's his weight like?
It's got to be bob on.
Looks like he might just...
Well,
Well, he's in the area.
well, he's been unlucky again.
Very unlucky.
1 to red, I think.
1 shot, second set.
Looking at the
back.
crowd
Paul
as if to
Hartley.
say what do we have to
That's
do.
Paul Hartley through to the next round. Here at the European Masters 2017, kindly sponsored by Co-op Funeralcare. Your next game up, Jason Parkinson versus Craig Newton at 11:30. That gives you a little bit of time to get changed and sorted, Jason.
Certainly does. Thanks for joining us, guys. Speak to you later on in the day.